Warning, this podcast has not yet been rated for children or teens, or even not disabled. Disabled supervision is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Disability Reality Podcast. My name, as always, is Melanie Rivera Waldman. I also go by Mel, Melly, she, her, hers. I am a right arm amputee below the elbow, wearing a yellow tank top with blue flowers. I have a fresh chop of brown curly hair on top of my head, half up, half down, messy bun, black headphones in front of a tan curtain that has some funky colors going on. We've got pinks and blues. That's kind of the whole theme and the vibe around the show is just this like warm, inviting vibe with colors. And what about me? I have brown eyes. And like I said, I'm just hanging. I've got some freckles. I'm Latina. Let's go. So today's episode, I'm so excited to be bringing you my guest. Her name is Lachi, like Versace, and she is a true legend in the disability community. She has a nonprofit called Ramped, which you'll be hearing about, recording artists and music professionals with disabilities. And not only is Lachi Grammy-nominated, there are other members of Ramped who are now Grammy-nominated as well. I think we also have an Emmy Award nominee in there as well, who we talk about in the episode. Okay. And just getting to follow her journey and learn more about her story. I've known Lachi for a handful of years, and there's things that I didn't even know that I got to learn in this. I really am excited to share her story and just to talk a little bit more about what's coming ahead. This summer, I'm gearing up to go back to Tribeca Film Festival. I was there last year for 2025, and I'm so excited to share that my favorite pick for a film from last year was called Room to Move. It was produced by Amy Schumer, and it stars Jen Freeman, who is a dancer, directed by Alex Hammer, who is the editor on Beyonce's Homecoming and on Lizzo's documentary, Amy Schumer's documentary. It is so good that I have been quoted as saying, Room to Move is my favorite documentary since Crip Camp. And if you don't already know Crip Camp, go do your homework. It is so good. There's also a Jim Lebrecht movie coming this year, or two Jim Lebrecht movies. Jim Lebrecht is a part of the team that created Crip Camp, and they're coming out with 2 more films with him as executive producer, okay, this year. Paul Rudd has a film on autism coming, and Derek and Haley Erbert Huff, they have a film coming about Haley's journey. She had, I believe, a health incident right after she got off stage from Dancing with the Stars on tour, which Dancing with the Stars is one of my personal favorite shows. I've been watching for maybe over 18 years. So I'm really excited to get to that. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we might show up on the red carpet. Be sure to follow Disability Reality Media on all platforms. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, not Twitter, but we are on Threads. I am so excited for you to jump in today's episode. Please enjoy. Oh, and one last thing, just a little bit about me. Something that I lost along my journey with limb loss was the power of my voice. I was a trained singer and still am. I did professional singing events before I became disabled, and even still now I do a little bit. But a part of my voice has changed after being intubated. So I'm still getting used to the sound of my voice and singing, but there's a little something extra I've been working on for you guys. It'll appear at the end of this episode, so please stay tuned and let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. All right, let's go. Take it away, Lachi. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend, Lachi, as she says, like Versace. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Lachi like Versace. And somebody get me a brand deal with them because I'm giving them a lot of press. Okay.
It's the truth. If you're in the community, you know, there's so many of us who follow you. Lachi is an icon, and we're going to talk to her and learn all about her iconicness overall. But before we jump in, do a little bit of visual descriptions of ourselves. Would you like to go first? You're kind of a master at it.
Lachi, she, her. I am a Black woman with cornrows. I identify as blind and neurodivergent. I also identify as a New Yorker and an Aries, so watch out. I am loud and proud in my studio in front of some pianos, and I'm wearing a pink shirt, and I'm ready to go.
Hey, Aries sisters. Yes, I'm also an Aries. So my name is Melanie Waldman. Yes. And I also am an Aries queen, March 21st, first day of Aries. Do not forget it. And always.
Is your birthday March 21st?
It is. 3, 2, 1.
That's my birthday.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. That's my birthday.
I think I knew we were birthday twins. I was like, I knew we were Aries sisters, but I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I knew we were Aries, but birthday March
sisters,
21st.
Right.
So we got to do something. We got to tear down the town.
Big. Love this. Planting a seed.
Fireworks. Yes, girl.
It's going to be great. Oh, yeah. They'll do fireworks for us in our honor in New York City. So I'll tell you about me. My name is Melanie Waldman. If you're new here, I am a Latina woman wearing light brown, very square, large, oversized glasses under my black headphones, dark brown curly hair pulled up in a bun. I wear an olive green shirt. And today, extra special, I am wearing a statement necklace. It is by Betsy Johnson. It's two witches' green hands that kind of look like a collar. You can kind of hear it. She might make some
Sure.
noise during the interview. It has a big
Okay.
pink ring on it, a la Wicked, because
A
at
la
this
Wicked.
point, a lot of you might have seen Lachi. I don't know if you got to catch up on any of the content over the last week and a half. And I don't want to date this podcast, but yes, at this time, I've already been to the Wicked premiere. I've seen Wicked twice. Can you believe that?
Okay. Nice. I
Weird.
can.
Wild.
I can believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the first one was extra special to me because there were a couple people in the cast who I knew personally. First of
Yes.
all, Miss Cecily, and she played young baby Nessa. And she's just so iconic with her little, yeah. That was her line. Everybody loved and everybody picked up on it. I recently saw the director, John Chu, was like, we thought that was the funniest thing ever. That stayed in the movie. It was improv. She was so good.
Nice.
Little baby
Nice.
girl. And then a friend of mine was BG. She was a background dancer, Ashley. And she got this like really iconic wig that she got to wear. I watched it again the other day, the first one, and you can see her throughout her whole scene dancing. And I'm like, that is spot on. Very much like
Nice.
she's surprised, no surprise, also an Aries.
Aries season all day.
You can spot them from a mile away. You can hear them coming, all of the above.
There's a bar in New York City. I don't know if this is true. This is what I've been told. It's like a club. They don't allow Aries in. Like they'll look at your card and
I thought that
if
would have
you're
been
an
the
Aries.
opposite. What?
And I'm like, screw your boring ass party. Like no Aries, no thank you. Okay?
That's not a good party to me.
Ariana Grande, thank you next, right? Hello?
Yeah, I don't hate on signs, but Gemini, really? Over Aries?
Yeah, I don't get along with Geminis because
Exactly.
Aries will tell you what it is, right? Geminis are two-faced, right? So like they're like the LA of signs, whereas Aries is the New York of signs.
Amen.
That's why I love it.
Though my moon sign is Gemini, so I'm like, it's going to come back to bite me that I say this.
I think I have Gemini in there and Cancer. I think those are my three. Like
The
actual
karma
Cancer.
of it is, it'll come back to us eventually. But you know what? For now,
one of these days.
we identify as we identify, right? Oh, and
Period.
last part about my visual description. I didn't say I'm a right arm amputee. I'm holding up my nub below the elbow amputee. And I sometimes fabulously wear different prosthetic limbs. Today, I am not. Because guess what? It's the most comfortable. And here we are. And we are
Yay.
set. Yes.
And we're
We
set.
love being in our most authentic skins, right? And I love
Yes.
that about your art and your music. Lachi was just announced. She now is a mentor for the Recording Artists Academy.
Yes. So, I realize in my description, I never talk about my necklace.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I am wearing a necklace with a golden, music note on it, a music treble clef, because music is me.
Mhm.
And so there's a great segue. So yeah, the Recording Academy runs the Grammys.
Yes.
Kind of similar to how like the Television Academy runs the Emmys and the Movie Academy runs the Oscars. So the Recording Academy runs the Grammys, and I've been a huge part and a very like active leader. So right now I'm a Grammys trustee. So I'm on the National Board of Trustees at the Recording Academy. So I'm out here setting the policy, girl.
Yes, ma'am.
And, on my journey to being like a scared little artist that has no idea what's going on, I just record produced an album for an artist named Chris Redding that's Grammy nominated.
ASL
So we're really
applause.
excited.
Woo!
Yes.
Mazel tov.
And
Mazel
thank
tov.
you. And it's so fun because I was able to bring a ton of Ramped members, like a ton of other artists with disabilities and neurodivergences onto that album. So it's just a big win for everyone. But I started out just a scared little artist, and now here we are. And I had so many mentors along the way. Everyone from like Sharon Tapper she's the ED at the Music Managers Forum. She helped me a lot. Felicia Butterfield Jones, she was in leadership at the Recording Academy, gave me a lot of opportunities. And then also like on the disability side, Judy Heumann was like a really close friend and mentor to me. And I really wanted to turn around and pay it back and just offer up this, the beauty of mentoring to the next generation, but also keep myself knowing what's going on with these fresh new perspectives and these young kids out here to be in the Grammy U Mentor to be a mentee. There's an age thing. I think it's like, 16 to 29 or something. So, I get to work with a new young mind, know what the new young mind's questions are. And also I learn in that way as well. So I'm very excited to be a part of that.
Oh, I love that so much. I love that about
Yeah, girl.
mentorship and being able to share your art in different ways other than, like you were saying, you're in policy. Like that is so important, especially when it comes to deals and legal issues. You need to know all of the tea there. I also don't know if you heard the jingle of my pearls, because when you said Judy Heuman's name, I literally clutched my pearls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Judy was a pearl.
May she rest in power, just
Yeah.
so iconic. And it makes a lot of sense to me that she was a part of your journey. Like that just, it only makes the most sense.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about her in a bit. When we talk about the book, my book has a lot of her in it.
We love a segue.
Boom. Hey.
It's upside down, but I love it.
I am so blind. It literally says it on the cover. All right. So I identify as blind. It is my book. Listen, we live in a world where everyone is masking, right? And then everyone is masking to everyone else. So who are we? Why are we all masking? Who's the person? Who's it? Like, we're all just masking to each other. And it's because we just don't know how to talk about the deep things in our lives. We don't know how to be proud of the parts of ourselves society has told us to hide, has told us are weak, has told us are bad, right? And so we just live in this loop of internalized ableism, right? And I think it is because we don't have a way to talk about it. Right. It's boring. It's sad, right? It's compliancy. It's grievance model. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to talk about disability the way I wish someone talked about it to me so I can stop masking.
Yes. Oh my
and that is what this
gosh.
book is. Essentially, it is dad jokes, it's rap bars, it's history, it's fun, it's pop culture, it's interviews with top icons and celebrities, all talking about neurodivergence, all talking about disability in a celebratory way, all of the innovations that have come from disability, all of the cultural shifts that have come from neurodivergent leadership, but most importantly, all of the visionaries born of taking that mask off. That is what I identify as blind is. It's just, it includes my story as well, but it's definitely a huge group effort. It's coming out in January of 2026. And if you don't get your copy, put your mask back on then, bitch.
You better put it up. Pre-save. Better. And I also believe you have different forms of access of your book on top of this. Is that correct?
Yes, I will have to say I loved my team. They worked with me for all of the things that I wanted. This is Penguin Random House. The imprint is Tiny Reparations Books, which is Phoebe Robinson, who's like a huge female comedian. It will have Braille on the cover, just for a quick nod to the culture. We will also be releasing a large print book at the same time.
Beautiful.
We will be releasing an audiobook at the same time, so you don't have to wait. And fun part is it is dyslexic friendly font. So we want to make sure. Exactly, girl.
Okay.
We want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable reading it in the way that they feel comfortable reading. I just want to see a bunch of people like walking down the street on a train with a book that says I identify as blind and people going, but you're reading it. We don't understand. I don't get it. Do you
Fire. That is honestly
so
the
it's like
best
just a wink
Easter
joke.
egg. Yeah, like, ooh, what a good Easter egg. That's actually like, you are so funny. You would be a fantastic comedy writer, by the way. Because that just, it's a joke that writes itself. For real. Like the sitcom, I actually like, I always write. That's my art. My art is writing, performing, acting, yada, yada. Jokes. Jokes are the way that I personally am able to process the
Yeah.
disability because mine's acquired, and I'm not sure about your disability, if yours was from birth or not. Could you tell me a little bit about your story, your journey?
It's both, which
Okay.
is like, I get to have it all. I was born legally blind, but I had much better vision than I have now. So I was born legally blind, and the doctors kept saying, but she's lucky because it's not progressive. So she can't see very well, but it's not progressive. And I remember I was like, my mom was like, we're going to get you a cane. And I was like, I don't want a cane. I'm already weird and different.
Ooh.
As I was, navigating the school system, the education system, eventually, college and this and that, I also acquired some neurodivergences along the way, which were sort of commingled with my low visionness and the social stigmas associated with it. So I am also ADHD, also OCD, also have generalized anxiety disorder, all of the fun things, and then a few other things in the alphabet soup. And
Preach.
then as of about 7 or so years ago, I woke up one day and I was just totally blind. So then I was like, okay, cool. So then I was like, oh, okay, finally it caught up to me.
Yes.
I ended up walking. This is in the book. I end up walking myself to the hospital or to the clinic. And I go over all the gimmicks and crazinesses of walking through New York just one day waking up blind.
God.
And then I get in, the doctor says, okay, my cornea has exploded. And then from now on, he was able to bring back some vision, but from now on I will be like on a steady road towards blindness, right? So to complete darkness, right? However, when I got that news, right? This is, like I said, it was about 7 years ago. I was like, oh snap. I need to get my life together and like go do all the things I've always wanted to do before I completely lose my vision. So I started going skydiving, like snorkeling, spelunking, camel riding, horseback riding, all of the things. And then I wanted to meet all of my heroes, meet celebrities. So I'm running around meeting all these people. And guess what? Like, I was like, why would I stop after I lost my vision? So this is still just me doing all that. This is actually, so when people say to me, oh, if I ever lost or woke up one day blind, I would totally I'd kill myself. I was like, when I found out that I was going blind, that was when I finally decided I wanted to live.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
No, totally.
And I'm like,
totally.
hell yeah. Period.
Yeah. I just started seeing new therapists. So I also have anxiety and depression and just found out that I have a processing disorder. I'm a synesthesian.
Oh, okay.
It's like I see letters as colors. I see shapes and dates in a certain progression, and saw this show on Peacock, and I totally forget what it's called, but it's with Shiv Roy and I love shows from Succession, and Dakota Fanning.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, synesthesia is a big part of the story. And then they come out and say it's actually a neurodivergence. And I was like,
yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, alphabet soup to me. Yes.
Yes,
exactly.
It's so
true.
funny. I also have synesthesia as well. It's faint.
We're the same person.
We are March 21st. I'm telling
21st.
you, I had it a lot more when I was younger.
Yeah.
So it is something that, and I also have MD, which is Maladaptive Daydreaming.
Ooh,
and
what's that?
It's a sexy one. I think it's one of the fun ones. Like synesthesia is also a fun one.
It. Yeah. It sounds creative as fuck.
It fucking, okay, here's the maladaptive daydreaming angle. So what it is in order to either cope or, as a result of like maybe self-dislike, bullying and all of that, you go to a place to feel good that you create in your daydream. So you're awake, you're daydreaming. And yeah, everybody daydreams. But maladaptive daydreaming is when you make these large, what are called paracosms, which are these large worlds that it's like a never-ending unfurling story with characters and histories and whatevers. And you could be doing this to a point where you would just like miss class, miss a meal, skip school. It would affect your life because you're just sitting there daydreaming. A lot of folks with autism and ADHD have it because, if you're not paying attention in class because you're daydreaming and then it's mixed in with your ADHD. Oftentimes you will take on these characters that you have in your head. So you can be kind of muttering and talking to yourself. And you could have it's almost like, when you're watching TV and you're also on your phone.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Always.
like that all the time, where it's like the
Okay.
movie is always on. And so it's like, and then only like 20% of you is actually engaging with the real world.
Oh my
The rest of you is
gosh.
watching this movie.
Yeah.
So, so then it was starting to creep into like me being an adult and like trying to like go to work and shit. So finally, Arthur, who, you know, my
Yes.
like, manager, all that
Shout
stuff.
out to Arthur.
Shout out to Arthur. He's also proudly neurodivergent. He was like, why don't you write it down? Because like, why don't you get it all outside
Is it
of your
in the
head?
book?
It is in a book. Boom.
Whoa. What?
This is actually something I wrote in 2023.
Look at
Got published 23.
that.
Isn't that cute? It's called Death Tango. It is a sci-fi thriller. It is the paracosm that is in my head. It is my maladaptive daydreaming from about 8 years old
Wow.
to it's probably like 20 years of just a daydream. Here's book one of
So
that.
sick. So
If
sick.
anybody's interested. So that's why I say like I mean, listen, to me, all of my neurodivergences are fun because they, because when they're accommodated, they're awesome. So like, let's say for instance, when I'm accommodated, my ADHD gives me all sorts of ideas, bright ideas, millions of bright ideas. When I'm accommodated, my OCD helps me carry out all those bright ideas.
Yeah.
When I'm accommodated, my general anxiety makes me empathic, right? It makes me excited.
Yeah.
Fucking my depression makes me funny as fuck.
Go off. Go off.
Like, hello.
Yes.
And so, and then et cetera. And honestly, my blindness, when I'm accommodated with my, you know, large print or my Zoom text or my magnifiers or my screen readers, it allows me to be focused, to be like, you know, have these amazing lived experiences. And it lets me have those dope ass glam canes.
Yes. The sparkle.
The sparkle,
glitz,
girl.
the glam. We love
glitz, the
sparkle. You
glam.
are such a fashionista. And I also love like something you were saying about accommodations is like, yeah, when we're accommodated, we can be that much more creative, unapologetically, without judgment. And a part of that too for me, because I'm also an acquired disability.
Disabilitini. Let's drink our disabilitinis.
Yes, I need one of those right now. My disabilitini is like, yeah, coping was a big part of my story, and comedy accommodating that for me in my own way is like, yeah, no, embrace that darker, quote unquote, darker side of ourselves, but also like, yeah, way more freely creative. And I love that you, in the beginning, were like, Versace, call me. You are a fashionista. You just worked with CFDA?
I just worked with CFDA and Vogue.
British
Vogue. American Vogue, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, no shade to British Vogue. You're also a Vogue. But I want to give a huge shout out to Sinead Burke. She heads up Tilting the Lens. Yeah, she helped put that together with Tommy Hilfiger's team. And you know what's so crazy? You know, never invite Lachi to nothing. She invites me to this party. Tommy Hilfiger's there. I'm like, Tommy, look at my canes. Can you fucking sell these or something? Like, do it. You're Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah.
Hello. And he was like, those are cute. Anyway, someone passed me the snail. I'm like, okay. Another huge shout out for the fashion piece we did. I don't know if you know Don't Let Disco. And it's not, and by disco, it does not mean disability community. And it also doesn't mean disco music. It just means don't let this go.
Don't let this go.
So don't let disco.
Okay.
And so she does beatings, and everything is like upcycle, recycle, you know, or whatever. She does earrings, she does whatever. And so she's who did my outfit for the Vogue piece.
Oh, love.
And she is amazing. And then she's very witchy too. So if you're like witchy, she's like into that. So check her out. She's
literally
good, right?
Love a witch. We love a witch in this house. I'm into that.
Right.
Give me my moon. Give me my shifting of seasons. Love it all. And yeah, you were kind of talking about like this whole aspect of there's this community behind what you were doing in the Grammys, that you brought all of these other talents on board, including Jay from Jay and Pamela.
Yes, Jay Manuel. Jay is also so Jay is a member of the Ramped member network. So
you
Ramped,
knew where I was going.
girl, come on. Listen, let me be on both sides of the interview. Let me just ask and answer. No, but so Ramped is my organization, Recording Artists and Music Professionals with Disabilities. It's the organization that I wanted to see when I Googled disabled musician or disabled music professional.
It made my core.
So then I decided to make it. And it's so funny because I didn't want to, actually. I had the opportunity. God, let me see how fast I can tell this story. Okay.
Take your time. Take up space.
COVID.
That's what this is for.
Okay, let me do it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Take the
Pump this
stage.
up a little bit. There we go. So, so COVID hits.
Mm-hmm.
My longtime music manager passes away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He was just starting to break me as well. Like we were just getting on radio. We were doing like the talks and the discussions and then he passes away. So I'm like, okay, let me figure my life out. And then George Floyd, right?
Wow,
so
yeah.
I was like,
no,
so
absolutely.
So remember, we're all in our house and we're trapped. I don't know if you can kind of put on your N95 mask and kind of come back with me. And so we're all trapped. And then then everyone's trying to riot social distancing. Like what? So I remember thinking, I need community. I need something. Like a big person in my life just passed away. We're all by ourselves. We're all like feeling the racial divide. We're all angry. And so I needed community. And I remember and everybody started talking about DEI at that time. And there was all these like panels and
when
like
it
virtual
was a
discussions.
positive thing.
When it was a positive, then now it's DIE, which I'm like, y'all should DIE, but moving on. So I started going to those virtual panels, just being in the audience. And I noticed nobody was talking about disability because I started being like, recognizing that I didn't just need Black community, I needed disability community.
100%.
Right? Because like I felt like when I was hanging out with all women, I felt a little too Black. When I was hanging out with all Black folks, I felt a little too disabled.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, where are the disabled people?
Yeah.
So what ended up, so I started putting in these like webinars, I started like copying and pasting Wikipedia articles and like charts and shit. Be like, somebody talk about this 1 in 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
This 25% of the population. Hello.
And honestly, I think it's actually 29 now.
I knew.
The CDC.
I knew
Right?
it has to be closer to 50. It has to.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's 100. First of all, it's 100. But
100.
anyway, so
I know. We're inching. I'm inching there, but we all know it.
But we all know it.
We all know
anyway,
it.
so then, so I do this for like, I start being known for like just these chat takeovers of just like, nope. And then finally I do it with this organization called Women in Music. They were doing the same thing. There's a Latino woman and like a Black woman and an Asian woman, and they're talking about diversity. So I'm in the chat going like, talk about disability. Finally, someone says, and I see in the chat that someone also mentioned disability. And then they move on. And I was like, yay, I penetrated.
We got the word in. Clickbait.
Yeah. So I get a phone call from that organization and I'm freaking out because I'm like, fuck, they hate me because I fucking fucked up their thing.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, we want you to do the panel that you want. So can you put it together? So I put that panel together. There's a few folks that I bring in, Galen Lee being one of them. And like from that panel, I just started getting invited to do panels to the point where I eventually got invited to do one with the Grammys. And then the Grammys leadership was opposite me and a couple of just like disabled music folks.
Yeah.
And we talked to them. We had the discussion. We were like, where is music disability representation? And at the end of it, they were like, okay, we hear what you're saying and we're going to do it and come back and we're going to show you our progress. And we're like, who, us? We're just fucking kids. We don't know what. You're the Grammys.
Yeah.
We can't hold you accountable. And so then after that panel, because that panel blew up, right?
Sure.
After that panel,
as it should.
As it should. I started getting DMs. I started getting emails. I started getting texts of like, hey, Lachi, we'd love to be a part of your organization. We'd love to be a part of this movement. And I was like, movement?
Right.
I was like, organization? I was like, my career was about to blow up and is now in shambles. And I'm freaking out. Like, I don't have time to make y'all fucking ass organization. Can we cuss? Because I just did.
We already did.
Okay, good. I don't know. I can't keep track.
I say in the beginning, not meant for children or teens or non-disabled.
Oh, non-disabled. I call them NDs.
NDs, though I do say disabled supervision is advised. So
hey,
we do love our allies. But this is for us who live this life right now. And like, I am a woman from Jersey. I can't keep curse words out of my mouth. It's totally the Aries stereotype, all of it.
Yeah,
so feel free.
I cuss like a sailor. And it's so funny because my mom is like a huge Catholic and I'll be like, hey, yo, what up, bitch? She'd be like, my God, would not allow that. So, what was I saying? So, you know what? I go to sleep one day and I wake up and I have this ridiculous acronym: Recording Artists and Music Professionals with Disabilities, RAMPed. And I said, God damn it, God. Guess we're making this fucking organization.
It
Guess
is
we're doing
so
the movement.
good. So
It's-
good.
It's so good.
It's
Like,
so good.
yeah, it's so good. Like everybody says, it's one of the best things we've ever done.
Yeah.
Is the acronym.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's fine.
but now here we are. Our first partner at Ramped was actually the Grammys, and so Ramped is twofold. Ramped is like we do consulting and we do trainings and stuff like that, and we do assessments and walkthroughs. But on the other hand, we are, and what our real strength is we are a global network of music professionals with disabilities, neurodivergence, chronic conditions, mental health conditions, and we partner with music giants to really service us, but not just us, because everybody has something, right? So we're really fighting for pretty much everyone in the recording community. And so we have folks like you said, Jay Manuel, Chris Redding, that's the album that I worked on.
The Grammy.
The Colors in My Mind,
nominated.
the Grammy-nominated album. Chris Redding is also neurodivergent, and he also has synesthesia.
Love.
So the album is called The Colors in My Mind.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I was like,
so
this is
there you have it.
synesthesia.
That's
has to be.
Yeah,
has to
pretty
be.
much. Very, very colorful, very fruitful. And it's the reason I jumped on, because I'm an artist, and I'd been wanting to like dip toe more into my production side.
Sure.
And I'd been doing some beat producing, and I had been putting out some rap records with my beat production.
Love.
So people were coming around, and I've always been a Pro Toolsy behind the knob chick. I'd bring people into my studio, but I never had done a full album production, like, executive produced, sort of record produced an album.
Yes.
But Chris came to me and he was like, I want to do an album really celebrating my neurodivergence and the fact that he has a son with autism.
Oh, so
he wants
sweet.
he wants to celebrate it, explore it. And he had done a project in the past. And it was only for his kid. So he wants to do one where it's about himself and his kid and just the whole family of it. So I jumped in. I said, heck yes. And I was like, I would love to bring in some other authentically neurodivergent and autistic folks. So there's Jay Manuel coming in, another artist named Medusa. I don't know if you know Medusa.
I have not met Medusa, but I've seen all over my socials. All over. It's funny because I'm tri-state area, but based far enough away that like I'm not always in the city. But I feel like there's so many times it's like everybody's like, so and so, right? I'm like, I see them, I manifest them, and touching them and hugging them, but not yet. So we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're gonna make that happen. You'll definitely see them at the book launch that you're coming to, that we're forcing you to come to.
Oh yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. That'll be in February. But anyway,
Yeah,
we did that record, but also like there are so many other amazing, not just musicians and, artists, but also like music managers, folks who work at labels, anyone who works anywhere in the live entertainment, music or sound ecology that has any type of disability, neurodivergence or whatever is welcomed in Ramped. And it's so funny because people are like, how can you tell? Like, do you check medical records? It's like, no, we don't check. You have to identify, and we're not here to check. And you can also join, and it can be private as well. If you want.
Okay.
We don't actually care. Like, we just want you to have the resources and the community and the this and the that. And so we just want everybody to come. And we've partnered with the Grammys. We've partnered with Netflix, Live Nation, Tidal, Spotify. So it's been quite the movement, but obviously we have so far to go. And the last thing I'll say is we're the sign. Here's my Wicked connection. I knew I had a Wicked connection.
I knew you had one.
Other than, I love, I know Marissa Bodie. I know Jenna Bainbridge on Broadway or whatever.
Yes, shout out.
Shout out, Jenna. But Cynthia Erivo. So we're the ones, Ramped is the ones that brings the sign language to the red carpet on the Grammys.
Oh, love.
That's us.
I think I knew that.
And so,
I think I personally knew that. Yeah.
Okay, good. So Cynthia Erivo was one of the like big viral people using the sign language interpreters.
I remember that video like as clear as day.
Yep.
So good.
That was us.
So good.
And that was when one of my little nephews was like, oh shit, she's black. I'm like, yeah, she's not, green isn't a race yet.
Oh my
like
God.
On this
Talk
earth.
about wholesome. She's black. What a question.
Well, no, I was like, yes. Okay.
I also, like, you were talking about like the Black Lives Matter movement and George Floyd. I personally, anytime I think of like how far we've come especially with I was working press on the carpet. So I wasn't just there as an influencer. Not that I'm
Mhm.
diminishing anybody, but they invited me along with YouTube, along with IMDb. I'm standing on the press line with them. And every time there's a lot of people who see this. And I wrote a letter to NBCU, shout out to you, who invited me to come. And I said, in all of the footage, you can see there's a crowd of people around us just watching because it's me and Cece, it's
Mm,
me and it's Marissa and all of these other disabled
mhm,
creators. And I have Jill Kerwin with me, and she's doing interviews
mhm,
her on her own. And like people, Jimmy Fallon literally stopped,
mm.
kind of put his hand into our interview and just goes, "Hello." And Jill and I, you can see in the video, we turn around and we're like, "You know us? Who? Hi, hello."
Nice.
There's an interview with Marissa. He interrupts her variety interview, and she just goes, "Hello."
Nice.
So yeah, it's just this feeling of like, yeah, we're the first, but we're not going to be the last. And I think that all of this is attributed to the fact that like Black Lives Matter started when it did, and it was this rolling thing. And I love to hear that that is what influenced ramped and got it on its feet. And I didn't know that.
Yes.
I thought it was like, wait, not to age you, but like I thought it's been there for a long time. I didn't want to call you
Yeah, what the
older.
hell are you trying to say, first of all? No,
Yeah.
Ramped was sort of birthed in 2021 and
Yeah.
officially launched in 2022. Ramped is only
Amazing.
3 years old. And so like it's such a baby, but we're very established. I mean, I have to thank the Recording Academy, like the Grammys, for being our first partner.
Yeah.
And they continue to remain really supportive. And then also because of that, we got into the New York Times, we got into
Hell yeah.
Billboard, we got into Forbes, just like, and we got our first like paychecks and partners, and we didn't have a bank account. That's how fast things were kind of coming
What?
together. So now things are a little different, but we're still very small. We have a very small but mighty team. Arthur's part of the team, and we're the global member network is actually
Yes.
self-governed with an executive committee and committees under. So it's actually disabled folks running this whole thing.
Shout out to Marsha
All the way
L.
down.
We love you.
Yes, Marsha L is the president. Oh yeah,
Yes.
she's
So
such
proud
a
of her.
she's such a firecracker.
I love
But
her.
there's so many other amazing people like Natalice Ribeiro. She
Okay.
is a huge lupus advocate. She is our
Oh,
VP. Who else is on the team? There's a young man named Deshaymond. He is our treasurer. We have Kamal Gori. He's blind. He's our secretary. And then Precious Perez, who you may know, she's a musician. She's
the
blind
name
as well.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, she does a bunch of stuff. She's a Latina singer. She was really active in the NFB, which is the National Federation of the
Okay.
Blind. She used to be the president for Ramped, and then she kind of is now sort of emeritus. But yeah, I gotta say, it's one of my like crowning life achievements. I would
Yes,
say.
and you should be so proud of it because it really is. And it's kind of been this thing of connecting myself back to this community in New York City physically, where like
Hmm.
I'm starting to meet all of these artists. And through Disability Film Challenge, which you also did, I met James
Mm-mm.
Ian that way. So it's kind of been like
Sure.
a backwards intro for me to Ramped. Is like I found out
Right.
about Ramped through the film process. So James Ian was a friend,
Sure.
and then I learned that
Okay.
you did a film. And
Yes.
that way, through all of that networking, I think I went to a performance of James Ian. And I honestly can't remember how I met them, but Austin Halls, one of my besties,
Sure.
adore.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
adore.
Yeah.
And he's so
Well,
talented.
Austin Halls is also a New Jersey Aries. So
Yes,
there you
yes,
go.
yes.
So, but there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot, especially in like the New York area and the LA area.
Mhm.
There are a lot of us,
Yeah.
a lot of, disabled, music baddies. And then I think Atlanta as well. So we're really trying, and UK, because we're
Okay.
global.
Yeah.
And so we're really trying to penetrate.
Global.
And I global. So anybody
Global.
watching this, listen, if music or sound or audio or live entertainment or entertainment in general, and it has anything to do with music, send them our way. They don't have to be a musician. They don't have to only be like a performer or an artist. They can also be, again, a music agent. They can be someone who works at a label. They can be any kind of creative support staff within the music industry. Send them to Ramped if they have any kind of disability, neurodivergence. We're here. We have an amazing, amazing global network. We have a lot of programming. We do everything from song retreats to, again, mixers with some of the largest music giants in the industry.
Which is so
Come
beautiful.
see us. We want you.
So beautiful.
You have to identify as having a disability.
Personally.
Or neurodivergence.
No, that's good to know.
Or whatever.
The clarification.
Again, you can keep it private if you don't want to disclose it to the public, but you have to identify. But we don't check medical records or anything.
Sure.
You just have to say, I identify as disabled. And people were like, well, what if people just say that to get the benefits of Ramped and they're lying or whatever? And I'm like, listen, then you got something that you do need to get worked out. So, well, come on in.
Woo!
You got something else you need to get worked out.
That is fire, truly. And there's people who don't want to identify.
However, when we do our mixers and stuff like that, we invite, all folks from the music industry, anyone who gives a crap about disability and neurodivergence and just wants to make the music industry a better, more accessible place.
I love that that's for all types of industry workers too. And it's not just the vocalists. It's not just the performers. We love the above the lines.
Yeah,
we love
below the line, behind the scenes.
All of the above. That's so great to hear. And I love the advocacy that you're doing with that. I want to wrap up for today. And I'm going to leave you with one final question, which is a question I ask everybody. I even asked Marissa Bodie this twice because it can change from day to day. This podcast is called Disability Reality. So Lachi, what is a disability reality that's present to you today or overall? You can answer it any way you want.
A reality of disability.
Yeah.
Well, I feel that it's the mask. A huge reality of disability is the masking. I feel that a lot of people do what they have to do, whether it's internalized ableism, whether it's social stigma, to hide all of the parts of themselves that are honestly the biggest spark. The biggest point of adversity and contention in your life is what you overcompensate for. Right? And so it turns out to be the most amazing thing in your life as soon as it's accommodated and addressed, right? I mean, it's so 2 + 2 = 4 to me. That is what I feel is my disability reality. I masked for so long. I had my mask on about my neurodivergences, my mask on about my blindness and trying to downplay it as much as I could. And then when I finally took it off, I finally started to live. I started to win. Doors started to open. I started to get, friends, my friends that I needed, the support I needed, the network I needed, the book deals I always wanted, right? The Grammy nominations I always wanted. Oh, and you know what? Bam, upside down. The Grammy nominations I always wanted. And so I think embracing our identities instead of masking them is when we're finally going to start to win. And that's my disability reality.
I think that's fantastic. And I think that now that needs to be your claim to fame is any interview you do, purposely hold it upside down because it's just brilliant. And then let them tell you, wait a minute, be like, oh, you think I didn't know.
And then like make them feel awkward. It's like, who's the dick? Huh? Say it.
Like,
and then I'll be like, haha, I'm holding it upside down.
Yes, I knew that.
And they'll be like,
well, in my case, I feel that so deeply because we were talking about the access of it. I am an audiobook girly die hard because holding a physical book for me is too much strain on one hand. So
sure.
I'm so excited. Are you the voiceover for it too?
Girl, you know I'm the voiceover for it.
That was not really a question, but
I mean, I told you guys, I do rap bars and jokes. They're not going to land if someone else does them.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that's a big plug right there. So you're not going to get the bars. You're not going to get the authentic voice of Lachi, which we want the physical print. I love also having a physical book so that I love writing in a book and making it mine. So I love a highlight. I love a circle. I love a dog ear. Do both. Why not do both?
Do them all, girl. Support love, support disability identity. Let's go.
That's right. Amen. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I love you so much. And pre-save, save, pre-order, do all of the things with Lachi's book. Hopefully this will come out before then, but if it doesn't, even still, get that.
Get that.
I like that. Thank you again, love.
Thank you.
Hey, so I lost part of my singing voice when I became intubated to save my life. And I think it changed my voice forever, but I'm gonna post a singing video, and I don't care if you like it or not. So you better be nice. Thanks. Beep the rent poster. No day like today. I wanna get away far from here. Pack my bags and drugs and disappear. Tell you no, make it clear that I'm not coming back for 15 years. I wanna write a note, leave it with my next door neighbor who don't give a shit. I wanna get away far from here. Pack my bags and tell my dealer I'll miss him. Oh, I'll tell my dealer I'll miss him. Tell my dealer I'll miss him. Tell my dealer I'll miss him. I'll tell my dealer I'll